Chapter 5. This is the book of the generations of Adam in the day that God created man. In the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam, after he had begotten Seth, were 800 years. And he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Seth lived 105 years, and begat Enos. And Seth lived after he begat Enos 807 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. And Enos lived 90 years, and begat Cainan. And Enos lived after he begat Cainan 815 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Cainan lived 70 years, and begat Mahalalel. And Cainan lived after he begat Mahalalel 840 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Cainan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years, and begat Jared. And Mahalalel lived after he begat Jared 830 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 65 years, and he begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 182 years, and he begat a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, This name shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord had cursed. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Chapter Review. In Genesis chapter 5, verse 2, God calls both Adam and Eve Adam. But why? It's because Adam comes from the Hebrew word Adamah, which means ground or earth. So Adam or Adam means human or earthling. Adam is not a proper name. It is a general term for human or earthling. So let's go to verse 2 and replace Adam with human to see how it sounds. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name human. The verse makes much more sense with human as opposed to Adam, which also means human. Chapter 5 also tells of the generations of Adam that will lead to Noah and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The authoritative figure. In 1962, after learning about the Holocaust, social psychologist Stanley Milgram wanted to know how ordinary people could do such inhumane things without limitations. Under what conditions would a person obey authority that commanded actions that go against conscience? A group of 40 males between the ages of 20 and 50 years old were selected. They were told that the experiment was about how people learn more whenever punishment is involved. The subject played the part of the teacher and sat in front of the shock generator used to punish the learner if they made any mistakes. The learner, however, was an actor. Their role was to pretend to get the wrong answers, pretend to be hurt by the shocks, and pretend to pass out. The subject, or the teacher, thought that everything was real. The shocks, the complaints of pain, passing out, they thought everything was real. They were also told that the learner had a heart condition. The authoritative figure's job was to prompt the teacher to go all the way to the highest shock level. The shock voltage started at 15 volts and went up to 450 volts. The shock generator didn't deliver any actual shocks at all. It was simply just a prop. The shock generator also had words written on it to let the teacher know that the shocks were steadily increasing. For example, slight shock, moderate shock, strong shock, very strong shock, intense shock, extremely intense shock, danger, extremely intense shock, and finally, XXX. What gave the authoritative figure authority? Their white lab coat and the assumptions made by the subject. Here's what they found. 65% went all the way to XXX, simply because someone in a white lab coat with no authority told them to do it. The teacher was told that this was a learning experiment, but at one point in the experiment, the learner actually passes out, so learning stops. But the teacher continues anyway because of the authoritative figure. The learner yells, "Let me out of here. You have no right to keep me in here." But the authoritative figure gets the teacher to continue with the following prompts. You will not be held liable for the learner's condition. Please continue. The experiment requires that you continue. It is absolutely essential that you continue. You have no other choice. You must go on. The authoritative figure gave immoral commands, and 65% of the people continued anyway. We have to understand that this powerful effect of the authoritative figure happens in our everyday lives. Once you become aware of the effects of the authoritative figure, it will stop working on you. In this experiment, the authoritative figure didn't have actual authority. It was simply assumed by the subject. And that's what's important to understand, is that actual authority is not required at all, and this effect will still happen. If someone can get you to assume they have authority, special knowledge, ability, appointment from God, they can get you to bow down to their commands. And also, they can get you to believe in all sorts of things that are not true.